Welcome. You have reached review time with Imperial. Today's review will be The Walking Dead World Beyond, episode 7. Let's get into it. So, this episode was a good episode. This is a back to back episode um, like they had last week. This kind of focuses more on hope. The gang has reached the CRM location where the um, gas is, and they have like kind of like a map, and they have like a green reflector that if you add light to it, it gives the points to show where certain locations is. They also find that same point and um, show that those points give a better reflection on where their Hope and Iris's dad is. It shows a flashback to Huck's storyline, and basically she was military. She was a Marine, and she was in the Marines when the zombie apocalypse took place. And when the zombie apocalypse took place, she had like a one of the guys in her group that they were kind of connected together, had each other back. And one of the orders that they got when the zombie apocalypse took place is to go into the area, certain area, and retrieve civilians. And of course, don't nobody know what this virus and all this stuff is. So they basically received the direction to kill anybody that wasn't uh, a civilian. So they instantly got to see that if you shoot them in the head, that pretty much kills them. So it jumps back to present day. In present day, you got the kids. Huck and Felix is carrying on a conversation. You got Tony. He was showing Elton tricks earlier in the episode. Then you had the kids all getting together where they were playing Truth or Dare, and you see Percy is taking a liking to Iris. Now, Iris is kind of like been sheltered in a sense up at the campus where she's not. I think she's generally just picking up the he's a friend vibe. Meanwhile, you see Silas, you can see he's picking up the jealousy because he can see that Percy is taking a liking to Iris, and she's kind of paying more attention to Percy than to Silas. So, in the course of the Truth or Dare, of course, he asks Iris, like, give her some truth. Where would you want to be? And she gave some information that where she would want to be. Then from there, you had they went to Hope, and Hope just told a generic thing that she did, but he was like, nah, it's more to it than that. So he was kind of pressing the issue on her, and Silas stepped up, like, leave her alone, pretty much. And so Hope stepped off, and she ran into Huck. Huck is reminiscing on the things she did, and basically she kind of cried, and she let Huck know that she's responsible for Elton's mom dying when he killed her mom when she was little. And so Huck is basically telling her, listen, man, you can't, you were young, you're a good person, you can't hold on to that, and basically you just can't go and tell Elton because you got to keep him protected because he may not be able to see the good in you and, basically go left with it. And so, because he's holding on hope that one day he going to run into his mom again. And so when it flashbacks to Huck's, when she was in the military, they got orders where it was, I guess, all these civilians that they had in a particular area, like at a camp somewhere. They got the orders to kill all the, and it was kids and everything. So Huck and them, and they were basically told if they didn't follow orders, they would be brought up on charges. So now this is a real judgment call here because now you killing innocent people. What are we doing here? Who you're being a judge and a jury on innocent people being killed. So Huck is basically basically she's gonna make a judgment call on her own because she knows it's not right. So she pretty much hit a button that uh, cleared the took out the lights, and when the lights came back on, her platoon of people or her group was all killed except her the guy that had her back and stuff. And then she's pretty much telling him like, yo, stand down, whatever. He's like, no, I'm marine, we had orders. So she ended up killing him. So it was a guy that was inside of the area where they were going at to get the fuel, and he had a gun to Hope's head, and she talked him down. Pretty much told him if she could amputate his leg and he'll live, and he let Hope go. And then when she got close enough to him, she put the gun down and she held him. He was like, "So I'll be able to? You think you could save me?" And she was like, "Yeah." But then what Huck did, pretty much she killed him, and everybody ran in and was like, "What's going on?" And then Hope pretty much protected Huck by just saying she saved her. But Huck pretty much told her like, you're a good person, but sometimes you're gonna have to do some things, to make up for your wrong or whatever. Basically, she looked at that guy as being, either dead weight because if you amputated his leg, or he was gonna be off for a potential threat or problem down the road. So she got rid of him. From there, you had the kids. Percy pretty much told Iris like, "Hey, um, you think you can meet me at the truck in like an hour or so?" And she was like, for what? What's going on at the truck? And then he trying to send her the vibes, but he was like, I want you to bring me the gloves because it's gonna be cold out. And she said, oh, I can give you the gloves right now. And he was like, well, pretty much not right now. I need it in an hour. So meet me at the truck. So finally, she really wasn't taking heed. She's just like, oh, okay. Like she, nonchalant. But Silas, you can see him in the background. He's peeping it. So an hour later, it shows Iris going to the truck, and it's well candlelit. It got all these things of Mona Lisa and like pictures of great art and Paris and Rome type stuff. And she just fantasizing, and that was one of the places that she always wanted to go. And so she was just fantasizing, and she fell asleep, just daydreaming. And when she got up, she noticed Percy never came, so she was walking around, like pretty much seeing where Percy was, and she ended up walking into a room, and she seen Tony face beaten, and he was dead, and Percy was nowhere to be found. And Silas was in this cupboard. Felix opened this cupboard and see Silas knocked out or whatever. So now a couple episodes ago, when it was showing Silas's backstory, you never knew what he really did. It just showed him holding his hands and he was shaking, and you don't know what he really did when he ended up at the campus. And um, Iris and Hope's father basically said you're gonna get a new leaf here or whatever. So you really don't, you hear the voice of his grandparents, but you don't really know exactly what he really did during that time. Now you seeing this and you like, geez, did he kill his grandparents? So um, uh, that's gonna be interesting to see. The previews, the trailers for next week pretty much make it seem like they got him all chained up and he was the culprit, but it could have come out that it just set up that way. It really was some other people, and Silas didn't actually do it. So only time to tell. This was a good episode. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment if you are tuned to the series and what you think about it so far. Till next time.